Hey y'all, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a video. It's been a long year. We've had a lot that's been going on with my husband's health, and I thought I'd get on here and throw together a pie. Last night I cut up my bread for my dressing. I'm letting this dry out right now. That's 1 loaf of white bread. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I hope y'all are having a good year. I hope everything's going well for all of you. Let me put my hair up real quick. I don't want it down. There. Okay. All right. So I'm starting with, I'm going to do 2 pies. I have 2 pie crusts. Pillsbury, I just bought Pillsbury in their deep dish. So there's 2 in there, and they're frozen. I just took them out of the freezer. And I'm going to do 2 pumpkin pie mixes. I'm trying to do this in a hurry. Got a lot to do, and my time is very limited. I have other things that I'm still trying to take care of. Duties or things that I have to do for my husband, for his health, and so I'm going to throw together these 2 pies really quickly. So this is 30 ounces. This is the Libby's Easy Pumpkin Pie Mix, 30 ounces, and it takes 2/3 cup of Carnation evaporated milk, and I just bought the 12 ounce so I can do both pies. So I've got these cut open, and I'm gonna start these, and then I have 4 eggs that's gonna go 2 in each pie. So let me get this in here. Get my spatula. Ooh, don't want to get cut. So this year's been really interesting, really trying. My husband was hospitalized a couple of times. He ended up with a really severe infection in his spine, and the only way to get it cleared up is through some major antibiotics, and so he went through 6 weeks, 2 hospital stays. Since March 19th we have been going through this, so it's been a long and trying year, and it just happened suddenly, so it's really crazy how all this came to be. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 of these eggs, break them up in this bowl. Okay, let me whisk those. I just like to break them a little bit so they're easier to blend. And we're going to add pumpkin pie mix, evaporated milk, and eggs in large bowls. So let me open this. I had a can opener. Somebody must have taken it out to my trailer. I have one of those. I have one of those can openers for liquids, and somebody must have taken it out to the trailer because it's not in here, and it sticks on the refrigerator. It's magnetic, so it's really easy to. Let me just do this the old-fashioned way. My mom, she used to do this, and she used to just cut a little spot, like an inch on one side, and just cut it open a little bit, so you have two openings, one here and one there, and that way when you pour it, it pours out easier. Okay, and this is going to be 2/3 cup. Set this down and measure. See how fast it comes out? Okay. So this is 2/3 right there. We're going to pour this in. Get all that out of there. And I'm going to take the 2 eggs and put in there as well. Okay. I'm going to set that down. Throw away the shells. And use this bowl for the next one. Whisk. And I just got off work. Got home and realized, oh goodness, we have doctor's appointments tomorrow in the afternoon, so it's going to be difficult for me to do pies. I usually do pies on Wednesday night, but because of the doctor's appointment, it's at 3 o'clock. We won't be back till 7:30 because the doctor's appointment is in, it's about an hour and 30 minutes away, so it's not going to be home till 7:30, and that doesn't give me much time. So I thought, ooh, I better do some pies tonight. I'm going to do 2 pumpkin and 2 pecan. So you just mix it really well. Make sure it's all mixed. And let me go get my oven started. Okay, it said to start to cook that at oven preheat 425 for 15 minutes, reduce temperature to 350, and then we'll bake the pies for 50 to 60 minutes. And to me, it usually takes a little closer to the actual 60 minutes, just from my experience. So let me get this in the pie crust. You know, this, even though I'm purchasing, I'm not doing homemade pies, and I'm not, let me get this out of there. There we go. And even though I'm not doing homemade pies, I'm putting together a pie, which pumpkin pie mix, egg, you know, and milk, you're still putting it together. Your family will still appreciate the effort that you put in, and even if you don't have time to do that and you need to purchase a pie at the store, that's fine, because you know what it's all about? It's all about being together, and it's all about spending time as a family. And hang on just one second. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fork, and in the bottom of this pie you see it's pretty solid. So I'm just going to go around this, and I'm going to put little poke holes. And what this does is it keeps, as the crust cooks, it'll rise, and this will keep it from puffing up and making big bubbles inside the crust. So this just gives it some little air holes. You can do it around the edge too. It helps so it doesn't swell up. Just gives it a place to let out steam, so it's not bubbling up on you, because it will. The pie crust will bubble up. See all the little pokes? Okay, so one of these days I'm gonna actually show you how to make an actual pie crust. My mother's recipe. I made pie crust for years. During the Thanksgiving holiday, I'm, kind of cramped for time, especially this year. Last year it wasn't as bad, but this year it's like kind of different. So I'm going to pour this in here now. I'm going to fill it pretty full. I'm going to shake that a second and see where that lands. Now, that's full. If you go any fuller, it's going to... Now, this will shrink a little bit, but that's pretty full. So if you put any more in there, and see, that leaves this much in the bottom. That right there basically is wasted unless you're going to use this in something else, which with the milk, I guess you could put it in like a smaller pie dish or something and try to make a smaller pie, but maybe a crustless pie. But to me, that's I don't use it, so it's kind of, that's the end of it, and it's wasted. There. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the oven heat up, and I'm going to set both my pies on a cookie sheet. So let me go get a cookie sheet. This is a smaller cookie sheet than I thought, so maybe it's going to be one pie on each cookie sheet. So I'm going to pick this up and set it over here in the center. So as you can see, I've got it in the center of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prep the other pie, and then when that heats up and goes 425, I'll come back on and continue. I'm going to put this other pie together real quick. Hi, I'm back. Anyway, I wanted to show you my two pies that are ready to go into the oven. So I've turned down the temperature from 425 to 350, and I have to let it reach 350, and I'll put them in, and then they'll be in there for 50 to 60 minutes. With my experience, a little closer to 60 minutes, but you can test it at 50 and see if your knife comes out clean. You just take a knife and you go in the center. I'll do that once the pies, I'll check them. Once they've hit 15 minutes, I'll check them and put the knife in there. And if it comes out clean, then it means they're cooked. If not, you need to cook them a little longer. So I'm going to let that reach 350, and I'll stick them in, and I'll be back when I'm ready to do that. Okay, I'm back. I checked the oven, It's down to 350. Let me go open it and I'll get these moved over into the oven. Okay, first one. Try to get those in the center of the oven without sloshing these so they don't splot on the crust. So 60 minutes. Now, I'll let those cook for a little bit, and then I'm going to take them out. I'm going to watch the crusts, because they have pie crust aluminum rings that you can put over the top of your crust, and I usually put foil over the top of mine, and you have to make a dome. But I'm going to let those cook for just a little bit, and I'll come back in and check them, and I'll put some foil over the top of both of them. That way it's not just over the crust. And then that way both pies can continue cooking without burning the crust. So I'll be back when those are ready for me to put the foil on, and I'll let you guys see that process. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. It's good to be back. Hi, I just checked the pie over there, and they didn't come out they didn't come out clean, so I'm gonna let them sit in there for just a few minutes longer and come back and check them in about 20 more minutes and see if they're done. So I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. Let me run over and get these real quick. Ooh, these are pretty nice. Ooh, look at those. They're beautiful. Okay, let's do the test. That sucker is hot. Okay, so I'm gonna stick my knife in the center and pull it out. And see, it's clean. It means that pie is done. Yep. Okay. Woohoo! All right, so let me check this other one. Let me get a. Let me set this up over here. Let me take the actual pie and, oh, okay, those are too thick. Let me get under it. Okay, is the pie. Can you see it? Alrighty, there's the first one. Okay, stick it over there on the cooling rack. Okay, I can turn. Let me check this other pie real quick. Make sure your knife is clean. Oops. Get another one. Okay. Let me scoot this one over here closer. I'm thinking. Okay. Now I'm going to test this one. And see? That's clean. You see how clean that knife is? That means that's cooked. Yep. So earlier, a lot of the pumpkin was still coming up on the knife. So that meant it was not completely cooked yet. Okay, let me move. Let me get another rack. Okay, let me set this one up as well. Okay. Oops. That's a dangerous place. Let me set that over here. I can move both of those later. Let me get this pie picked up. You'll see it. See that crack right in the middle? So you can see it's done. That, and see the crust. It's not real dark. It's a nice tan. It's done though. Turn off my oven since I don't have to put anything back in there again. You see how this pie, as it's cooling off, is cracking just a little bit around the edge? Yeah, that's what it does when it cools down. It starts separating away from them. So we have both our pies. Ready to go. Here's the other one. Can't see it real well. There's the one. And there's the other. So now we have our 2 pumpkin pies ready for Thanksgiving. So tomorrow I'm going to do 2 pecans, so I'll probably videotape that as well and let you guys see me do the pecan. I noticed on the can that I save, I can use this in my greenhouse for this next spring. So I use the carnation, the evaporated milk can and the pumpkin pie can. Those make other good, they make other good uses, but I can probably use both of those. Let's put those in the sink to wash them. So on the label is the pumpkin pie recipe with the instructions, and it tells you what you need to buy. And then on the inside, sometimes they have another recipe. I messed up the recipe, so I didn't get to save the one that was on the inside. But on the carnation milk, it has a recipe on the inside for a creamy lemon raspberry pie. So I thought, I'll save that, and maybe we'll do a video on that one day. So for now, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna let these cool, and then once they cool down, then I can cover them with some foil and to keep them protected. But they're done, and that's 2 pies down. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and just wanted to let you all know that when you're cooking, don't forget to put a little love in it. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.